well you are presenting yourself. So yes, there are many questions that we get pertaining to grooming, right? How important it is, whether it is important or not, right? So yes, it is important, but see, we do not expect you to be perfect at the first round of interview itself, because you are going to start your learning journey, right? You are not yet pro at it. So of course, when you come for an interview, what is looked into is how well you are presenting yourself, right?
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm all good. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, great. Okay, so before we start, let me just introduce you anonymously to everybody. So, hi
Sure,
guys.
definitely.
This is the lady that I was talking to all of you about, and she is working. So we will not be able to reveal the name of the airline and name of the person. We want to keep it anonymous. हम लोग नहीं reveal कर पाएंगे नाम इनका और इनकी कंपनी का, because वैसे तो of course हमने सारी permissions ले रखी है, but we don't want to kind of jeopardize with her job right now. So let's welcome her. She's been working as HR. So she's been working with one of the leading airlines of our country, and she is basically taking care of the cabin crew department. So over to you now. You can basically talk more about what you exactly do. What is your work?
Right. Thank you so much, Prerna. So I take this as an opportunity to interact with all of you and encourage you and inspire you for the dream that you have. I am an HR and I partner with the cabin crew department to look after their need and requirement pertaining to the concerns that they have on their job. So whether that is concern pertaining to payroll, concern pertaining to their grievances, concerns pertaining to their interpersonal issues. So these are the basic things which I look into. Yes.
Okay, that's really great. So I think now people would have understood what your work is exactly, and I'm sure उनको समझ में आ गया होगा कि अगर cabin crew से related कोई भी questions है, तो you are the right person to ask. And अगर once I have put this video on my YouTube channel, or अगर कोई questions आते हैं, I'm definitely going to pass on to you so that you can answer those questions.
Definitely.
Okay.
Sure, definitely.
So,
I'll try to give my best and help you with the
okay,
answers.
all right. So, शुरू करें?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so now since you have already told me about your work and what exactly do you do, what exactly is your work in the cabin crew department of your airline, so let me ask you, have you ever been a part of some interview, cabin crew interview panel?
So there are basically 4 to 5 rounds of interview that we usually have. For the prelims, yes, I have been part of it. But for the final round of interviews, we have a different set of panelists who look into it.
Okay, so basically the initial just beginning के जो पहले के rounds होते हैं, उसमें you have participated.
The final round of interviews and the selection is taken up by somebody who are specialized in that domain.
Okay, perfect. So basic questions जो like सबके दिमाग में होता है जब आप cabin crew बनना चाहते हैं कि यार ये लोग चाहते क्या है, मतलब ये जो पैनल में बैठे हुए लोग हैं ये चाहते क्या है हमसे. What are the expectations that you guys have from the candidates who come for the interview?
Right. So basically, every company has a different set of requirement, right? So they have requirement pertaining to the age. They adhere to the DGCA norms in terms of height, weight, qualification. Qualification, of course, it varies based on the need and requirement, and again from airline to airline. Age is also something which varies from airline to airline, right? So these are the basic things which is look into. Now, something which we can work upon. right? So the very first thing that we can really work upon is our communication skills, right? So how do we
Okay.
comprehend, how do we interpret things? So communication skill is, of course, that is looked into. The second thing which is also looked into is how, when you come for the interview, there's always a specification that you need to follow, and again that varies from company to company. They define whether you will have to come in formals, or what are the formal attire that you need to wear when you come for the interview, right? So that again, it varies from organization to organization. And also, what we see at a first go is whether you're approachable or not, how good and how calm and composed you are when you're adhering to the needs of the customers, whether you are able to comprehend what you really want to say to them, right? तो ये बहुत मायने रखता है कि जब हम communication करते हैं अपने customers के साथ, क्या मैं उन्हें समझा पा रही हूँ जो मैं बताना चाह रही हूँ, और क्या मैं समझ पा रही हूँ जो उनके concerns है, और उनको calmly सुनना, because you are in a customer facing job, you will be in a customer facing job, therefore this is something which is very important.
Okay. Okay, so because you were talking, तो मेरे को भी एकदम से याद आया कि when you were talking about grooming, तो मुझे एकदम से याद आया जब मैं I think इंटरव्यू के लिए जा रही थी, तो मेरे पास कोई सामान नहीं था. I didn't have a shirt, I didn't have skirt, I didn't have stockings, और ना मेरे पास कोई मेकअप का सामान था. So of course I had to rush for it and I had to buy it. फिर मेकअप करना नहीं आता था, so जैसा थोड़ा बहुत मैंने किया, I went. But मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो इंटरव्यू पैनल सिलेक्शन कमिटी बेसिकली थी, they were actually seeing everybody on the basis of who they were, how they were communicating,
Yes.
what putting on an extra face, like all these things that they were looking at. So I really feel that what you're saying is very correct. You need to have command, because अब तो मैं 10 साल cabin crew का काम कर चुकी हूँ, मैं समझ सकती हूँ कि कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. सो अच्छा, जब हम बात करते हैं ना कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स की, सो इंग्लिश में फ्लुएंसी की जो हम बात करते हैं कि फ्लुएंसी होना इंग्लिश में, ये बहुत जरूरी है कि आपकी अच्छी इंग्लिश होनी चाहिए ताकि आप एटलीस्ट सामने वाले को समझा सके व्हाट यू ट्राइंग टू से. सो क्या व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन दिस?
Right. So what is really important is your comprehensive power, right? जो मैं बोल रही हूँ वो सामने वाला समझ पा रहा है कि नहीं, right? Also, so again, what I said is there are different levels of your communication skills that every airline has, and they looked into that particular criteria, right? Because they have their experts who look into through the rounds of the interview whether the person is adhering to the requirement or not, right? तो ये तो different airlines का different होता है, but what is really important is me working on my communication skills, me trying to ensure that I do not commit grammatical errors in completing my sentences. Whatever I say, it should be complete and concrete. So whatever I'm trying to communicate to the interviewer, it should be concise, concrete, with no error. That is what I should try to adhere to. Again, one more thing is that, see, we all come from like none of us, we have English as our mother tongue, right? So of course there would be a regional touch to it, but when we are pronouncing the words, how accurate is my pronunciation, how well I'm able to comprehend what I'm saying, is what is really important. So yes, of course that doesn't come in a day or two, you need to keep working on it. So how can you work on it? If you keep watching good videos, that has good communication content, if you see news regularly, so these are basic small things, which will help you to enhance on your communication skills.
Okay, so do you have some example where probably you were taking an interview and you felt, oh my God, what is the person is talking? ये कौन सी language और कैसे एक shift आ गया? What I feel is probably कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जब हम अपनी मदर टंग में बात करने लगते हैं तो हम बहुत कंफर्टेबल हो जाते हैं, तो हमको भूल जाता है कि हम इंटरव्यू में बैठे हैं, वो प्रोफेशनलिज्म शायद कहीं ना कहीं गायब भी हो जाती है. So what is your take on that?
Right. So whenever you're appearing for an interview, first and foremost, you need to be very sure that there are certain parameters on which you will be graded, right? You will be considered for that position, right? So I need to be very serious about that particular round of interview, right? Also, when you're speaking to the interviewer, what is really important is uh, so so guys, we will be using a bit of Hindi so that it's for the larger crowd, but please ensure that you do not do this when you are giving your round of interview, because because you're communicating with the interviewer, and of course your communication in English does matter. तो ये हो जाता है बहुत बार, बहुत लोगों के साथ जो मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया कि बात करते करते दे कम इन द फ्लो एंड दे स्टार्ट स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी, जैसे मैम आपको तो पता है ना ये ऐसा होता है. So what we look into is the continuity in which you speak. That should be fluent. And as I said, that there should be less of grammatical errors, rather no grammatical errors, to put it precisely. So please ensure that when you're communicating, you adhere to that. That is really important.
Okay, so my next question is basically, what are the most basic and most important aspects of cabin crew interview? सबसे ज़्यादा important aspect है, मतलब अगर आपको points में डालना या parameters में डालना है, apart from the eligibility criteria that we understand कि बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, which I'm going to come to you later कि आपके हिसाब से from the airline point of view eligibility criteria कितना important है. तो basically मुझे जानना है कि अगर आपको पैरामीटर्स में डालना है माइनस द एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया, क्या बहुत बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं, लाइक 3-4 थिंग्स दैट यू कैन रियली टॉक अबाउट.
Right. So as I said, grooming is of course very important. Okay, so grooming, I mean that the basic presentation of yourself. You need to be confident when you carry out yourself. Do not get nervous. Yes, I know it's going to, for many of you, it's going to be your first job, so you might be very nervous. Ki, I don't know what I'm saying, and how will people think around me? Grooming is something which is really important. So see, when I talk about grooming, we know that many of you are freshers and you're entering this world for the first time. So what is really important is your confidence level. So when you're communicating with the interviewer, please do not become very nervous as to the fact that what people around you might be thinking about yourself. Be sure of what you are communicating. Your thought process and the thought flow should be very concrete, so that when you are very sure of what you're thinking, that's when you can communicate very well, right? Yeah. So please, there are a couple of checks that you need to do, and practice as well. Just keep practicing at home whenever you are at home. It shouldn't be like, you're called for an interview tomorrow and today you start practicing. If you really want to accomplish what you dream of, please ensure that you practice beforehand. Yes. Right. Second thing, what I would say is, of course, your communication, your adherence to a crisp and clear communication is what is looked into. Thirdly, when you're giving your answers, make sure whatever you put in your resume, you're very sure of it, right? Because there are a couple of questions maybe based on your hobbies that you might be asked, right? That, okay, you have put across that you love listening to music, right? So what kind of music you listen to? And then you get stuck there that, okay, just because everybody was writing listening to music, I didn't put, right? So just ensure just ensure that you are sure of what you are putting on your resume, so that you can communicate those things to the interviewer, right? So this is it, as simple.
How important is the resume part? Like, is it very, very important from cabin? Because most of them are freshers and they don't have many things on their resume. So is resume important part of the interview?
So so in line with you, Prerna, so it's not a very important factor, but it is just that the facts or whatever I'm putting about myself, that should be genuine. Because if something they ask you, if they find something interesting about you and they ask you, it should not be like you're blank about it and you don't know what to say. As I said, listening to music and they ask you, okay, tell us something about the kind of music you want to listen to, and you're like, okay, I don't know, and then you don't know what to answer. So that's where you get stuck, right? So
but sometimes people,
because that is simple things like I like writing.
Like sometimes what happens,
Yes, yes,
I
please.
have that thing, when I am in stress or something like that, I tend to go completely blank, but it can happen, in that. So all these things, I'm sure you would be understanding that probably the person is freezing because of the brain is gone frozen completely, probably because he or she is scared and all that. So do you try to kind of, make them comfortable the interview and help them to sort their head out and bring them back to where they are actually mentally as well?
Yes, so we try doing that, but therefore, my only request to the aspirants is that keep practicing whenever you are at home. I know, like the way I'm communicating now, I wasn't this 6 years back, right? But the thing is that it comes over practice. So what
Mm-hmm.
my request would be to each and every one of you is that keep practicing. Like even if you devote 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day on your communication, I think that would really help you for the future roles
Yes.
as well.
So even I would like to add my experience when it comes to communication skills.
Yes.
That actually when I joined Jet, I remember मेरा बहुत मजाक उड़ाया beginning में. People used to laugh at me because I come from Himachal Pradesh और मेरे अंदर of course वो vernacular accent होता है वो था of course. तो here now of course we say here there and all that stuff. But वहाँ उस time मैं ऐसे बोलती थी hair, bal, hair and all that. So the moment I used to say it, no, people used to laugh in the class in my training sessions, and but that did not put me down. Of course, for a moment I used to feel bad. मुझे बुरा लगता था थोड़ी देर के लिए. But then I used to pick up my pieces and I used to come back home and I used to tell myself कि नहीं प्रेरणा इंग्लिश में पक्का होना है. I'm not saying कि मैं मास्टर हो गई इंग्लिश में. मेरी अभी भी बहुत सारे एरर्स होते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. Then of course मैं कोशिश करती रही, and because of that fact I am comfortable and I am confident enough to at least speak to anybody and anywhere in English. So मैं वही सबको बोलती हूँ कि अगर इंग्लिश में कमांड, कोई भी लैंग्वेज में अगर कमांड चाहिए तो आपको कंटिन्यूअसली उसको उसमें बात करते रहना है. That I think wanted to add on to what you were saying. So I think that is also something from my point of view जो मैंने जिस तरह से मैंने इंग्लिश बोलनी सीखी है. So thank you so much for that यार, wonderful answer, and I hope कि बहुत सारे लोग समझ पाएंगे finally कि आप लोग क्या expect करते हो उनसे. Okay, so moving on to the next question. ग्रूमिंग के बारे में तो ऑफ कोर्स आपने बात कर ली. अब आते हैं एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया, जैसे कि हाइट हो गया, वेट हो गया, आपकी एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन होगी. ये कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है और लोगों को क्यों समझना चाहिए कि अगर आप हाइट के क्राइटेरिया में नहीं आ रहे हो या एज क्राइटेरिया में नहीं आ रहे तो आप इंटरव्यू के लिए मत ही जाएं. प्लीज आप ये जरा उनको अच्छे से समझा दें.
So yes, as I said that, every company has a different set of eligibility criteria, right? So it is important and every organization abide by that and they have their own reasons of abiding by that. When you look into the height, okay, it is for some organizations, it is 155 centimeters, right? And this is because if you are anywhere lower than that, then you will not be able to, your hand won't touch the overhead bin, right? And that is like one of the most important onboard safety concerns that come, if it remains open and if something falls on board, then that there's a safety deviation that happens, correct? So hence it is very important factor and hence it is looked into. The second thing being the weight criteria that you're talking about and the BMI limit. This is as per the DGCA norms and the organizations do abide by that because it has been laid by the aviation industrial experts of Government of India, and hence we need to abide by that. That's how it is.
So basically, simple words में it's very important.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
So I hope आप जो सब लोग देख रहे हैं, आप ये सुन रहे हैं कि आपको एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया में होना ही पड़ता है, जिसमें कि गुड कमांड ओवर इंग्लिश एंड हिंदी लैंग्वेज भी आता है, उसका एक पार्ट है. और हाइट क्राइटेरिया, आपका एज क्राइटेरिया, आपकी एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन. नाउ सम ऑफ द एयरलाइंस आर also particular about having in possession of an Indian passport, a valid Indian passport. So ये सब I think ये होना बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. अगर आपके पास ये सब चीजें नहीं है तो प्लीज मत चाहिए इंटरव्यू के लिए. वर्क करिए अपने ऊपर और इन सब चीजों को कोशिश करिए कि you try and get these things sorted out and then only go for the interview, so that at least आप अपनी काबिलियत के बेसिस पे इंटरव्यू के लिए जा रहे हो. Don't get rejected on the basis of not falling into the eligibility criteria. I think that is very dejecting and kind of that heart wrenching more than anything else. अगर आपको सब चीजें आती है but आप eligibility criteria में नहीं हो तो आप select नहीं हो पाए. So I think that is really sad. So what are some of the tips that you would like to give to our aspiring cabin crew candidates जिनको बहुत मन है कि हम कब बनेंगे, क्योंकि मुझे भी बहुत सारे questions आते हैं. हमारा अच्छा आई साइट के लिए भी पूछते हैं बहुत सारे लोग कि हमारी आई साइट का प्रॉब्लम है, हमारी बहुत कम है आई साइट. तो ये सब questions है. Of course English तो basic question है ही और हाइट भी बेसिक क्वेश्चन है. सो आई साइट भी एक क्वेश्चन है. सो क्या क्या टिप्स यू वुड लाइक टू गिव टू द एस्पायरिंग कैंडिडेट्स फॉर cabin crew job?
Absolutely. So as we have discussed on the eligibility criteria, the things that you need to look into, before coming for interview, like how well prepared you need to be on certain aspects. There's also another round that is when your internal medical team of the organization helps you to undergo the basic medical requirement that's needed to be fit for the cabin crew job, right? So there are a couple of checks that the medical team does, and as you said that like every organization, every department has different set of criteria. Same for the cabin crew job requirement. Also, you need to pass that medical examination, and post which only you get selected, and then you kind of get onboarded for the job. So you need to, of course, qualify for those medical checks and the requirements that's there, and that is in line with the DGCA norms.
Okay. So what are the tips? Some of the tips, the other tips that you would like to give?
Something which I really want to share with all of you, because many of you are aspiring to become a cabin crew. Yes, there are a lot of good things that come with the job, but there are also tougher situations that you need to be prepared for. And one such thing is, of course, handling customers on board. So be patient, practice patience, practice your presentation skills, because the way you execute yourself when you are in an interview panel, it definitely leaves an impact on the interviewer. So because they would like to see you as a personality, and when you go on board, how well you are able to handle tough customer situations, right? So if there is a medical emergency, how well equipped you are, how fast you are to handle and adhere to the needs and requirement on, right? So there can be anything and everything. If there is a celebrity who's traveling with you, how are you ensuring that you give the best service? Because ultimately, you are the face of that organization and the brand with which you are associated with, right? So you speak on that behalf. So that's very important. And of course, as you grow as a cabin crew, you will master on these things, right? But before I I go for the interview, I need to prepare myself in such a way that I know what exactly happened. So do a lot of research. I think, there are people like Prerna who comes up with such beautiful videos about their experiences. See them, understand them. If you have any questions, ask them, right? Because they carry huge experience, right? And that would definitely help you to master your own self, right?
Yeah.
So that is something which is very important. Right now, as the industry looks like, we are in a very dynamic situation. We don't know what next, because this COVID wave 2 has just hit us all of a sudden, and none of us we were expecting that, right? So keep your dreams alive, right? keep thinking about your dreams, but at the same time, look for other opportunities as well. If something is coming up, take it up for the time being, and at the same time keep prepping up for yourself as a cabin crew, so that when that opportunity comes in front of you, you're just ready, you're just fit to take it up, right? So that is something which is very important, and that is what I would like to communicate to each one of you. Be hopeful, and we all are together in this journey. So I just hope this COVID just goes away and we are back to the way we were. Okay.
Yeah.
So because this would also create a lot of opportunities for a lot of people,
Opportunities,
right?
exactly.
Yes, so we are looking forward to that. So that's how it is. Yes.
So, I just wanted to add to what you were saying about, just give me a moment, I'm just adjusting something. So basically, I just wanted to add something to what you were saying about, picking up some other opportunities and all that stuff, why it is very important, because हम सबको पता है कि सिचुएशन हम सबके सामने है क्या है अभी, कोई भी इंडस्ट्री एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम बहुत कम नंबर्स में हायर कर रही है, कुछ कर ही नहीं रही है, कुछ people are being retrenched and all that stuff. So मैं ये बोलूंगी, अगर आपके सामने कोई भी अपॉर्चुनिटी आती है अभी, like how she also mentioned, कोई भी अपॉर्चुनिटी आती है आपके सामने, प्लीज पिक इट अप, जस्ट टेक इट अप, बिकॉज आप ही सीखोगे, you will upgrade yourself, you will skill yourself, you learn to handle people, you learn to manage them, there's so many things that you'll be able to do. And when that day comes, when you have to, when it is the time for you to fulfill your dream and you sit in that interview, you will be so confident because you have already gained a lot of experience. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आपके सामने कोई भी अपॉर्चुनिटी आती है, प्लीज टेक इट अप, और स्पेशली अगर कस्टमर सर्विस इंडस्ट्री से आती है तो बिल्कुल भी मना मत कीजिए, कम पैसों में भी काम कीजिए, तो आप पैसे भी कमाओगे और ऊपर से बहुत सीखने को मिलेगा. So yeah, I think that makes sense, that really makes sense. So thank you so much for that, यार, wonderful things that you said. I hope ये helpful होंगी लोगों के लिए और वो समझेंगे और जो आप advice दे रहे हो वो उसको लेंगे. All right. So एक question आया था, one of the person who follows me on Instagram asked me this question, and I want to ask you this because वो मेरे दिमाग में भी बहुत सारे लोग पूछते ही रहते हैं कि अगर आपकी बॉडी पे कहीं पे स्कार है which is concealable, वो है एक पार्ट है, but apart from that you have very good communication skills, body language, आपकी grooming excellent है, आप बातचीत बहुत अच्छी करते हो, I think you fit in the criteria very well, but just because of that one scar probably your chances are gone. So what do you have to say about that?
Right. So as I said that with every round, at the end we do have a medical round as well, wherein our internal doctors, they would check the requirement and check on certain parameters to adhere to the DGCA norms, right? And so based on which, if they clear that, it's well and good. If not, of course they can't go forward, right? So yes, scar on any part that is visible is a concern, but it is also subject to the doctor's viewpoint, and whether it can be considered or it cannot be considered. That's how it is.
Okay. All right. So basically, we can say that these people can go for the interview, at least try their luck out, I would say.
That's the way it is. So definitely they can go for it. Yeah.
Okay. So अभी समय सबको पता है कि बहुत खराब है और कोई भी एयरलाइंस इंटरव्यूज नहीं ले रही हैं, बहुत हालत काफी खराब है. So what is your take on the aviation industry during this time, and what would you like to tell all the aspirants, जो कि अपने सपनों को संजो के बैठे हैं कि कब हमारा समय आएगा और कब हम cabin crew बनेंगे? So what do you have to say to them, any words of encouragement and motivation or something like that?
What I would say, definitely, that keep your dreams alive. Yes, we all know the industry is not doing good, right? Because of many challenges, because of lesser travel, lesser people traveling across the country, right? And of course, at this given point of time, every human being need to protect themselves first, right? So that is definitely there in place. and we cannot run away from reality. Yes, so every airline is struggling. It's struggling to survive at this given point of time. So hence, at this given point of time, yes, there are lesser opportunities, but do not lose your hope. We just hope that this COVID just goes away and the industry revives again, so that more opportunities get created for many people, and you get an opportunity to live your dreams, right? And from my side, all I can say is that, of course, I really want a lot of bright faces to be onboarded and making their dreams come true, of course. And that is something which from the bottom of my heart I wish. But yes, reality is tougher at this given point of time, looking into the current circumstance. So let's keep it in our prayers. Uh, we just recover out of the situation as soon as possible, and the sooner we recover, more opportunities would be created. But till the time uh, that everything becomes normal, I would also request you that keep working on yourself, keep working on your confidence level. How can you be a better version each day? Just try to
Yeah.
look into that. And if you're getting alternative opportunities from other organizations, take it up for the time being. And when the right opportunity hits your way, just take it up, grab it, and make it happen. That's how it is.
Because when I got the opportunity to work as to go for the interview, this Airways interview, before that I worked as a business development executive with one of the organization in Chandigarh for 7 months. मुझे
Hmm.
बिल्कुल काम नहीं आता था, but somehow मुझे कहीं ना कहीं एक बाहर की दुनिया की थोड़ी परख हुई, मतलब कैसे काम करते हैं, कैसे लोगों से डील करते हैं, डांट खाई बहुत
Hmm.
ज्यादा,
Hmm.
बहुत कुछ सुना जॉब पे, बट उसने
Hmm.
कहीं ना कहीं मुझे पक्का कर दिया था कि आगे क्या होने वाला है, because it was not easy when I started, when I went for my training itself was not an easy journey for me. It took me a lot of time to kind of get used to it and kind of sink in to the environment, to everything. So बहुत time लगा मुझे भी, but उस job ने मुझे कहीं ना कहीं काफी हद तक help किया कि मैं उस जो सडनली मेरा शिफ्ट होने वाला था फ्रॉम हिमाचल टू बॉम्बे, उसके बीच में
Yes.
चंडीगढ़ आ गया. सो थोड़ा सा कहीं ना कहीं दैट रियली हेल्प मी. और मेरे लिए इंटरव्यू देना बहुत आसान हो गया, बिकॉज मैंने इंटरव्यू दे दिए थे, उससे एक तो पहले इंटरव्यूज दिए थे फॉर सम अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, डेफिनेटली नॉट द एयरलाइन. वो चीजों ने मुझे हेल्प किया कि मैं थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाऊं व्हेन आई गो फॉर एन इंटरव्यू. सो आई थिंक यू व्हाट यू सेड इज very true. Whatever opportunity comes your way, guys, please go ahead and don't even think twice. क्योंकि जब तक पता है कि एयरलाइंस रिवाइव नहीं होती हैं, तब तक तो यू विल हैव टू hook on to something. आपकी ही ग्रोथ होगी, आपके घर में ही पैसे आएंगे. सो आई थिंक you should really do that. So before we wind up, would you like to say a word or two in the end about to all the aspiring people out there who are really hoping to get some sort of hope, probably from you also today?
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for having me on board to speak to each and every one of you. What I want to tell you, all of you, is that be very hopeful. Do not fear challenges that come your way, and keep working on your confidence level, and keep dreaming. I'm sure, and I wish that all of you who are dreaming to be cabin crew, may your dreams come true as soon as possible. So this is what I want to say, and this is what is my wish for all of you today. Thank you so much.
So with this lovely wish of yours, I would like to say thank you. Thank you so much for giving a very important time. I can understand as cabin crew HR department, it is a lot of work, because I also knew some of the HR people from my airline back then, and they used to tell me, they really slog. And I'm sure because I'm connected to you, so I know that you really work very hard. So thank you so much for getting this time out and really talking to people, so that and instilling that little bit of hope. वो एक थोड़ी सी आशा की किरण जो probably आपसे बात करते हुए, आपको समझते हुए आई होगी लोगों के अंदर. I really hope कि इन सब चीजों से सीख के वो आगे बहुत कुछ करें. Okay, so thank you so
Definitely.
much.
Yes, thank you, Prerna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, and all the best to you too. And let's really hope that the airlines they bounce back, and our economy bounces back, and we have so many people sitting again for interviews in hotels and whatever places that you guys conduct interviews at. So thank you so much once again. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this will help you all in understanding and finding the way ahead for yourself. और थोड़ी सी आशा की किरण तो जगी होगी. और बाकी मैं यही बोलना चाहूंगी. Do subscribe to my channel and like and share it, because ये वाला वीडियो बहुत ज़्यादा important है. और I hope कि आप लोग बहुत समझे होंगे इसे. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot.